Hello, my beautiful soul family. Instead of typing up a message to all of you this month, I just wanted to connect with each and every one of you, and I felt like creating a video to connect is one of the best ways to just reach everyone in this Magnolia community. And some of you know, some of you don't know, this past month has just been very, very up and down and full for me. And just the full range of complete terror and devastation and loss, paired with this expanded ability to give and serve on a quantum level at the highest level of healing. And it's just been such a wild ride to be able to stretch my own bandwidth of what's possible and to also observe myself in multiple dimensions and as multiple versions of myself. And so I wanted to share it with all of you, and I want to find ways to collaborate and bring more of this magic to you as I'm experiencing it along the way with you. So we're experiencing things together. And first, I just want to thank every one of you. Some people in our community have been with Magnolia now for 12 years. And some even before that saw me in the clinic in chiropractic college, and some even before that saw me as for their yoga teacher back in the yoga teaching days. So I just want to say I love you all, and you all are really what inspire me and what warm up my blood and my inspiration and my commitment and hunger to always be more, to grow more, to expand more, so that I can share with every one of you that I love so much. And so last month, we packed up to go on a little family trip after like all of the holidays and the chaos and everything. We packed up Kaliana and Carlos, and we packed up and we drove Friday night, late in the night, to Tahoe, where we got there late. We were tired, but we woke up early, and we just had this big, amazing day where Kaliana went tubing. She's only 4. She tubed all by herself, and she was like such a little fierce squirrel. She really was. She just went for it, and I couldn't believe it. I was scared, and she was like, no, it was awesome. And so it was just wonderful to see the world through her eyes in that way. And then after that, we got this call. We were all getting ready to go to bed. It was late at night, and it was about Carlos's dad, and we had to get to Stockton from Tahoe. And if you remember, 3.5 weeks ago, there was like a blizzard in Tahoe. So we had to figure out how to get through the blizzard, get to the hospital in Stockton as soon as possible. There was a fear that we may lose Carlos's dad. He was on a breathing tube at that moment. And so we got there, we drove through the night, we didn't sleep at all. We got there, and Carlos's dad, who is just an amazing soul, he woke up out of the medically induced coma to be with us. And we had 3 days that were absolutely beautiful and absolutely terrifying. And just being able to be with him, where it felt like these were lost moments, that we were actually like being able to sneak in these last beautiful moments with him, was incredible. And after the beauty, and in between the beauty, was like the pain of him losing his life. And in chiropractic school, they talk about innate intelligence and universal intelligence. And innate intelligence, which is like what builds us up, and what we're working on at Magnolia, is to build up our innate intelligence so that it's strong and there's no interference, and that the body heals itself. Then there's universal intelligence, which are the universal forces that are constantly like breaking things down. And so I was watching that, like his innate, just wanting to go and have more life and more times and more days with his family, more days with Kaliana. And then the universal, which is like his body and his the ailments going on within him were breaking him down. And for several days we watched this up and down swing. And in the meantime, I knew that I had 2 major weekends planned with Dr. Epstein, and I really knew that my soul also needed to be there. And so in the background, I knew I may not be able to be there, but I just felt this conflict inside, because one of them was the Mastery program, which is the high-level program that I've been studying now for 4 years with Dr. Epstein, where we're able to bring in all these new qualities to network care that really bring it to the next level, that really bring in like the second tier consciousness, which is the consciousness of the unbound energy. What traditional chiropractic works on is the bound energy. So like, how do we liberate bound, stuck energy in the body? What I've been learning from Dr. Epstein is more about the bound energy, also the free energy that's in our organizing field that is actually already liberated, and using it to get to the next level of healing. And second tier consciousness is about using unbound energy. So like, unbound energy is Airbnb and Uber and all these new companies that are just kicking butt, and they don't own anything. They're not bound to anything, yet they're creating these epic experiences. And it's really the next tier of consciousness that we're all moving toward. We're releasing the bound and going to the unbound. And so I knew I needed to be at this workshop. And then the following weekend, I was serving at the Transformational Gate program, being able to take care of hundreds of people a day at that high level. So those 2 things were like in the back of my mind, and I had this intense contrast. And then the Wednesday night before Valentine's Day, or the week before Valentine's, I guess like the 6th or 7th of February, we were up all night with Carlos's dad. We brought him home so hospice could be with us with him, and we brought him home that morning. And then throughout that day, he declined through the night. And in the morning, we were with him for his last breaths. And I would love to share that experience with anyone that asks me about that. It was extraordinary, and now I know why people want to be with people as they're passing. It was honestly like a window to heaven is what it felt like, a portal. And I was breathing with him all of his final breaths until I realized I stopped breathing, and realized he did too. And it's going to be in me forever, that experience. And so then I went to my 4-day training with Dr. Epstein, where I learned so much. I have a whole book full of just really fantastic things that I want to share with every one of you. And doing that, I'm going to create 2 different events. One is a Zoom call that I'm just going to offer. It's going to be 30 to 45 minutes once a month, the first Wednesday of every month. I'm going to call it Quantum Alignment. And we're just going to go over some really cool concepts together in community, so we can all be supporting each other. And that's going to be available to everyone. Also, I'm going to offer a one Saturday morning a month type of training, where we can go over some of these just incredible embodied concepts for higher level healing. I have lots of that in here. I'll create another video to talk about all these amazing ideas I have. But I want to invite everyone to those 2 quantum alignment experiences. One is on Zoom. One's going to be live one Saturday a month for maybe like 4 to 6 months. So stay tuned for that. And so then I went to that training, which was, it required a whole different version of me than the one that was midwiving someone's passing. Now I'm midwiving the universe to come through me to be able to heal people at the highest level. And I fully was able to be on board for that. Then I came back, planned the funeral, and we had the funeral on Thursday on Valentine's. And then I went back to Denver, and I served and took care of hundreds of people at the Transformational Gate. And I just want to share with you that there's no way without network care I would have ever been able to have the bandwidth to handle so many different versions of myself and be fully present and fully like tapped in, turned on, and available for everything in the most present way. And for Carlos and Kaliana and everyone. And there's just so many tributes to this care that I'm so grateful that we have access to this at this high level. And so I was able to take care of all of those people. And literally what drives me is service and contribution. So the whole thing, like being of service and contribution to Carlos's dad, he was passing, to his family, to my daughter, like teaching her about like life and death and all of it. And then being able to learn these new concepts that are just really the future. It's the concepts of the future. We're creating the healing today of the future. It's like today's, tomorrow's healing today, basically, is what we're doing at Magnolia. And then going and serving on staff and being able to take care in this most reverent way of all of these people. And just after burying and having this incredible ceremony of this man's life. So I don't want to go on forever, but I wanted to just share with you what I've been through and why I wasn't there last Monday to be with you. And I'm so grateful that you're in Dr. Shay's hands, because she's just such an incredible healer and ally and support system and doctor. And that's why I was able to really be with my family that Monday and just decompress and be with everything and let everything begin to integrate. So that's what I have for you. You know, this, I guess I have a couple of other things I can share real quick. This Thursday night, I'm offering a free event for women called Presence. And we are going to do some yoga, meditation, and also have a sacred women's circle. And if you haven't been in a sacred ceremonial women's circle before, I encourage you to come. It's going to be very deep and beautiful. Also, my women's class, She Magic, is going to be launching. We already opened up registration. It's going to be starting in March. So get on that. It's a really great price. You're going to get a lot of stuff. It's going to be just, I'm going to midwife you through letting go of the patriarchal masculine shell so that you could really thrive in your feminine. And so that's for women. And we will have something else for the masculine, I promise, because you know, men, I love you. I love all the men in our practice. And then we're going to have the Zoom calls and then the quantum alignment where I'm going to be teaching